Hi everybody, so this is the second part of the video, so let me go back because I get cut off almost in mid-sentence. So we're talking about question number 3. Remember you just completed a paragraph where you're playing devil's advocate and taking Putin's side, which hopefully is painful for you as it was for me thinking about this, but it's important for us to understand the other side. So what would be Putin's best evidence for why Ukraine is not a nation and why it should really be part of the Russian Empire? So again, go back and review the notes. You can go online too, but definitely want you to reference the notes specifically as well too. All right. Then once you do that, once you finish that paragraph, hopefully you have a bad taste in your mouth and you can gargle some mouthwash after you get done with that, or put your fingers in some mouthwash to rinse them off because I guess the one doing the work too. So then once you give 2 more paragraphs, but these once you do the exact opposite. Provide me specific historical evidence that Ukraine is legitimately a distinct people and a nation. And this will give double the time on 2 paragraphs on this. So again, you can go back and review the lecture notes. You can focus on a couple individuals. You can focus on a movement or a time. But give me several specific pieces of evidence that would support Ukraine's position that they are a people and a nation, and that is what they naturally are and should be, despite the counter narrative coming from Putin's Russia. So, and you'll do that with 2 paragraphs. Make sure you're specific. Again, make sure you reference directly from my notes. You can also go online too. But just if you go online, make sure you cite that, what your sources, where'd you get that from. That'll take you a page and do all 3 paragraphs. The first one, playing devil's advocate. What's Putin's best evidence that Ukraine is not a people, independent people, that they're really a part of Russia? And then 2 paragraphs, where it's the exact opposite. It's the Ukrainian national story. So what is identity? Again, you maybe can track an individual or 2. It's up to you. What you guys want to do with that, just go back and briefly review the notes until you find something like, here's a really good case in point, this individual. And in the as you guys know, in the notes on Ukraine, we talk about that extensively. So pick out what makes sense to you, be specific, and you'll do that in 2 paragraphs. And all total for number 3, that'll take you about a page to do that. All right, we're on to the last one. So again, when you finish 3, you are done with that. No more with that. And you move on to the last one, number 4. So you can get yourself a drink. You are almost done. So based on Rick Churchill and Orwell's analysis of Orwell's 1984, specifically Big Brother's insistence that only the party could determine what was reality. Oh, you can review this in your book. That's on page 227. Provide 2 direct quotes from Perry Bergen, Krokonis, Sources of European History of 1900 to demonstrate the state-enforced distortion of reality. 1 strong paragraph, make sure you directly quote in that, make sure you name the author in the piece, and give me a good example of what we're talking about. So 2 quotes from your textbook. I'll give you an example of that. Maybe you would choose the people and the famine in the Ukraine. Any of these would be a good one. You could choose Arthur Koestler on his right to be converted. It's a fantastic one, talking about the state, Big Brother telling you what to think, and you're like, yeah, I got it. Or maybe it's the piece on the Fuhrer. The Fuhrer is, where is that? Hold on. The Authority of Fuhrer is All-Inclusive and Unlimited by Ernest Huber. Or Huber, by Huber. Be a good example of that. Or, yeah, there's a wide variety of pieces that'd be perfect for these. So you could have a 1 paragraph for each. So choose a strong quote from ones of your choice. There's many of those. I mentioned that one by the famine in Ukraine and of Lev Rezgan, True Stories. There you go. Darkness at Noon by Arthur Koestler. Fantastic example too. So show me some examples. Give me 2 separate paragraphs. 1, give me a direct quote. Choose the piece. Name the piece and the author. Give me the direct quote. Describe how this is illustrating the Big Brother concept. The state controls reality, not you, the individual. The state tells you what to think, and you salute and you think appropriately. So give me 2 paragraphs on that. Again, separate pieces. Don't choose the same one, but 2 separate pieces. Make sure you directly quote from both those pieces. Author Costas Darkness Noon, Lesra Afghan's True Stories. There's many others, of course, too. And that's just a couple examples. There's many others, too. Anti-Semitism would be good too, because obviously the Germanic concept of race and what that means. There's all kinds of pieces that would work well for these. Yeah. How about Jacob Groff's Hereditary and Racial Biology for Students? That textbook. Absolutely Big Brother. Absolutely Big Brother. It'd be a good one talking about how do you tell between a racial. Let's look at the races. That's what that piece is about. Let's look at the races. Here's the Germanic race, the Teutonic race, and look at the positive qualities. Look at these other races. These other races. See what they're really like. Perfect. That's exactly what Big Brother is all about. So the state telling you how to think, not allowing you to think freely, telling you how to think. So 2 paragraphs. We're almost done here. After you finish that, finally choose a direct quote from Berg, Berry, and Krukonis, Sources of European History, that demonstrates the exact opposite. So this one, we're going to end with some light out of the darkness. Choose a piece there that shows the individual awake to what's taken place there. And again, there's a lot of good ones to look at. Boy, to help you guys out a little bit, but yeah, there's a wide variety of these. Let's see. How about George Messerschmitt? The Nazis were after unlimited territorial expansion. This is one of the U.S. Consul General in Berlin, and he sees the Nazis really after. He knows what the Nazis are talking about, but he's reading through the TV what the Nazis really are saying. So, I'm not going with the Nazis say publicly. I'm going talking to them privately, reading what they say, really getting into what the Germans really after. But there's many pieces that would fit this. Winston Churchill's Disaster of the First Magnitude, responding to the Munich Agreement. Perfect example of an individual saying, I don't care what the government says, but here's what I see is clearly taking place. And of course, there's many like that, right? So I'm not going to say that's alone here. There's many of those. The Cult of Stalin by A.O. Avdiyenko. That would be a good one. Or Yevgeny Yevtushenko, Literature's Propaganda. That's would be Soviet Indoctrination. That's in chapter 9. Those are good examples of them pointing out, seeing accurately this cult of Stalin, what that is, and pointing out like the insanity of this, the distortion of reality of this. So, okay, you guys get the idea. So choose one good piece. There's many that would work here, of an individual seeing clearly what's taking place there and reporting out on that. Make sure, again, you choose a direct quote from that. Did I put a quote in there? Yeah, there we go. And quote. I'll highlight that, underline that for you guys. So give me a good, strong quote from the piece you chose and explain that. All those 3 paragraphs will take you about a full page. Once you finish those 3 paragraphs, again, each of them illustrated with a direct quote, you are done. You are done. Wrap that thing up, put a bibliography on the end. Of course, you'll have Churchill's Orwell. Rick's Churchill and Orwell. Then you'll have Perry et al., Sources of European History. And if you use the internet for any of these, again, I want you guys to focus on these books. But there's some of them, for example, when you guys are doing number 3, definitely use my notes, but you could also maybe Google it. Just make sure you guys be specific, cite what you're using. Just let me know. So, and with that, you guys will be at the end. I know it's hard work writing these papers, but in college, one of the best things you can do, because you're constructing an argument based on solid, specific evidence. It's not a bunch of blowhard hearsays. You're providing direct, concrete evidence to back up your argument. That's why the direct quotes are so important, right? You're showing here's a direct piece of their thought to back up what I'm saying. It shows you're processing the material, you're analyzing the material. It's fantastic. Although I know it's hard work. So my suggestion, I'll wrap it up, is don't wait till the night before to try to slam dunk this thing. I'd recommend like doing number 1 week, and then you can jump in number 2, so you space it out so you can do a really good job, make an excellent paper. And hopefully that's good. Hope you guys are good to go, and I'm looking forward to reading your papers. I'm looking forward to see where you guys' minds. I tried to give you a specific direction, but also give you guys some movement so you guys can allow your interpretation, your thought, things you notice. So I didn't want to make it too prescriptive. I want to give you guys some room as you're negotiating and processing information yourselves, and see. I'm looking forward to see where you guys go with that. So. All right, hope this gets you guys rolling with your paper. I look forward to reading them. Take care, everybody.